Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Tazkia Khusnul and I'm from Nurhida Senior High School. And in this video, I will present you a story about the ugly duckling. On the farm long ago, a mama duck sat on her nest. How long must I wait for my babies to hatch? I have to sit here all alone and no one comes to visit me. But what could she do? A mama duck must keep her eggs warm till they hatch. Finally, mama duck hard work paid off. Slowly, the eggs began to crack. One by one, yellow ducklings stepped up from their shells. Quack, quack, look at all of you, said Mama Duck with joy. You are all so cute. Now come and line up. We'll go down to the lake for your very first swim. She counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh dear, I should have 6 ducklings. But one large egg was still in the nest. Well, said Mama Duck, looks like that big one egg will take more time. So Mama Duck sat on her nest again and wait some more. The next day, the large egg began to hatch. But if I may say so, it was an odd-looking thing. He was larger than the other duck, and he was not yellow at all. He was dark gray from his head to his feet, and he walked with a funny wobble. One of the yellow duckling whined. "What is that? He cannot be the one of us. I have never seen such an ugly duckling," said another. "How can you say such a thing?" said Mama Duck with a stern voice. "You are only 1 day old, and your brother hatched from the very same nest as you did. Now come and line up. We will go down to the lake for your very first swim." At the lake, each yellow duck jumped behind Mama Duck and swam right behind him. When it was the ugly duckling turn, he was jumped and turned in the water and started to paddle too. Mama Duck said to herself, "At least he can swim." When they left the water and tried to play, the ugly duckling tried to play with his brothers and sisters too, but they yelled at the ugly duckling, "Go away! We will not play with you! You are ugly and you are weird too!" The ugly duckling felt so sad. When Mama Duck close by, she would not let them talk in this way. She was called "Be nice," but unfortunately, Mama Duck wasn't always close by. One day, one of the yellow ducklings said to the ugly duckling, "You know what? You'll do us a big favor if you just went away from here." All of them start to quack. "Quack! Get away from here, you ugly duckling! Get out!" The ugly duckling felt so sad. He hung his head down low. "Why they won't let me stay here?" So our poor ugly duckling came back into the woods. He then landed in the other side of the lake. And then so suddenly, the sky turned dark. Crack! A bolt of lightning. Then came a big storm with heavy rains pouring down from the sky. In the moment, the ugly duckling saw true and true. He was looking right and left, asking for help, and then there he met 2 grown-up ducks. Excuse me, can I please stay with you for a while? I have nowhere else to go." "What do we care? Just don't get in the way," said one of the ducks. So our poor ugly duckling came back in the storm alone, all by himself. The storm ended. Soon he found a new lake. Looking into the water, he saw a reflection of a flock of large white birds flying. He looked up and can't believe what he saw. There above him were the most beautiful birds he had ever seen. Their long white bodies and slender neck seemed so beautiful. She watched mesmerizingly as the very last bird winged its way out of view. He stayed at that lake all by himself, and time passed. The leaves of the trees turned deep red and cold. The leaves of the tree fell down to the ground. And then winter came, setting a blanket of white snow all over. The dark cloud and the cold wind made the ugly duckling feel even more sad. He had to go into the cold lake to fish, but it was getting harder to swim. The lake was turning to ice. One day, all he could do was to paddle to the water to keep it from freezing around him. "I'm so tired," said the ugly duckling, paddling with all his might. And then so suddenly, like a miracle, a farmer came. Just in a moment, the giant hand swept him up. "Oh, you poor thing!" He held the ugly duckling close to his thick whole jacket and took him to his home. Never was a warm fireplace more welcome. For the rest of the winter, the farmer takes care of the ugly duckling with all his heart. The ugly duckling never really feels grateful. And then spring came. Tips of green covered the trees. Sharp red flowers pop up from the ground. And then the farmer took the ugly duckling came back to the lake. He heard quiet splashing behind him, and he turned around. He saw a flock, beautiful white bird he'd seen before, land behind him into water. "Do not worry, I will go away," he said with afraidness in his voice. When he was on the way to go away, he looked into the water and saw a reflection of those same beautiful birds. Why was it so close to him? He jumped back, and then, surprisingly, the reflection jumped back too. At first, the ugly duckling felt so confused about what's happening, but then he realized that he was actually one of the same beautiful birds. He was actually a beautiful, beautiful swan. "Come here with us," said one of them. "I will take you to the sky." So in a moment, on the swan flapped their wings and gliding to the sky. "Take the lead," said one of them. So the ugly duckling that used to be the beautiful swan now, flapping his wings and then glide to the sky to his place in front of the whole flock. He said, gliding and tipping through the sky as he spat on. "Who's an ugly duckling right now?" Surely not me. The end. So what can we learn from this story is don't judge a book by its cover, and we must remember that being different doesn't always make you weird. Instead, it what makes you special. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.